Welcome back to the channel. We're deep into this series of Hawaii family. We've technically seen this guy on the channel already, but sometimes you just got to see him twice. Although we haven't seen this version of him. I'm talking about none other than Umaga. Now this would be probably what we would see as part of the bloodline instead of Jamal. But either way you go, it's going to be monstrous if you was to add him to the bloodline today. I wish he could be around to be part of it. But today, we're going to unbox Umaga. So let's get him over on the stage and check this one out so we can add him to our badass Hawaii family display. And you'll have to wait till the end of the series to see how awesome it looks. All right, we've got Umaga up here on the stage. I tell you, when it come down to getting an Umaga figure, I could not decide which one I wanted to go with. So when it comes to Mattel and the Elites, there's not a lot of options. I pulled it up on Wrestling Figure Database, and I feel like they're missing one in their stuff, but it only shows two. And one's from 2016, I believe it was, and then this one from 2021. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. This is from the Royal Rumble series. It was Target exclusive. Like I said, it came out in 2021. When we get to the back, we'll see what other figures were in the series. We've got the portrait, so that explains why we getting this version for a Target exclusive. Of course, we got the red pants, red face paint. Makes sense. Makes for a cool figure, though. So we turn this side, we got a full portrait of him over here with the Elite logo. And then this side, we have more of a whole torso view of Umaga plus the Elite logo. Turn it on the back. We see Umaga from the Isle of Samoa. Weight 350 pounds, height 6'4", career highlights Intercontinental Champion. The Samoan Bulldozer was a force to be reckoned with in the 2008 Royal Rumble match, lasting until the final five. The other figures in the line would have been Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ultimate Warrior, and Titus O'Neil. Wow, what a mix. But that covers the box. Not much else to see on that, so let's bust him out of there and take a look at Umaga. Alright, so as you can see, he didn't come with a whole lot of accessories or anything. It's pretty simple, but very effective. So we've got these two hands, which I'll show you in a second, and we've got the, I think it's called a sarong. If I butchered that, I apologize. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. And then, so he's got the kind of weapon holder. They're closer to the seagrass hands than the weapon holder hands, but still pretty cool. We've got a closed fist hand, and of course the taped up hand for the Samoan spike. So going back to this, this is the only downfall I've seen so far to this figure. If I find anything in the articulation, which I don't think I will because I've already messed with him a little bit, this is the only downfall, and it's only because of what it's made of. It's not. I think it'd be better if it was soft goods, but it's the hard plastic stuff or rubbery hard plastic stuff. It just holds together with a latch right back here. It blends in well where you can't see where the latch is, but it's right here. So it blends in really well. I'll put it on him real quick. Alright, so I got that on him. It looks pretty cool. There's a lot of detail in it, so I mean it does look nice. We're getting a little more into the figure. You can see he does have the barefoot feet with the wraps on, which is perfect. Tattoos abound. He has got all of his tribal tattoos and such. Very cool. I like the head sculpt. Let me get a close up of that face. Look at that. It's a good looking face sculpt for Umaga. Face paint's on point. The hair is right like it should be. I mean, honestly, there's, again, this right here not being cloth goods is the only complaint I can come up with on this figure. And I did, by the way, while I was paused to do some changing, I did check further into it. And maybe it was my imagination that there was more than two Mattel Umaga figures, but I couldn't find them on any other sites either. So I might have been eyeballing a different figure when I thought I was eyeballing an Umaga. There's been a lot that I was looking at the time. So, but this is the second one, and the only other figure they did of this man they just released, and it's this one right here. So very interesting. To me, Umaga had one hell of a run, and of course it was ended short. He passed away way too early. But I thought it would have warranted more than two elite figures at this point. But maybe coming down, since now we've had the Jamal, maybe we'll see an Umaga Ultimate Edition with Intercontinental title. Maybe. I mean, I'd be down for that. I'd be a little mad that they didn't release it before I did this series, but I'd still be happy to have it. Bins. This is. It does have the double jointed knees. They do have the pins. Elbow. He's got elbow pads on, so it's hard for me to tell, and I don't remember. Dang, the elbow pads are tight. I don't know that. I don't think the elbows are double jointed, so that's going to affect some of the articulation there. Sorry, I'm putting back on screen. But a great looking figure, and I think this version of Umaga will fit in to the Bloodline display very well. But I wonder which version would we get if he was still around and in the Bloodline? Would we get Umaga? Oops, I did that on purpose. Or would we get Jamal? Let me know in the comments who you think would join the Bloodline if he was still around today. Back in the center. As far as articulation goes, as I was saying, the elbow pads are going, and the not double jointed elbows are going to limit that some. Shoulders feel pretty good. There's not a lot of movement that it would have, like if it was an Ultimate Edition. Oh man, ab crunch. Yep, that's as far forward as he goes. So he can lean back pretty good, which is not a bad thing because you want him to do this. Hold on. If you lean him back some, he can be prepared for the Samoan spike. That's a pretty cool pose. Unfortunately, if I let go of his foot, he's going to fall over at this point. So I am going to straighten him back up a little bit. Would you knock it off, man? I'm not playing with you. Anyways, so, all right, let me look at the size of these feet, though. That's some big old feet, but I guess he's a big old Samoan, so big old feet shouldn't be too much of a surprise. I am having trouble with the way they're shaped, getting him to want to stand right. The ankle articulation is very limited. His leg movement, he does have double jointed knees, but the legs are so big that it is going to limit it. But the most important thing is we can get the Samoan spike pose out of him. And there's a good shot of the back. I just noticed that he does have a necklace on. It's a nice addition. I'm glad I just now saw that. So there's not much else to look at when it comes to this figure. Again, as far as accessories, you're seeing it right here. This and the two hands. There's no other heads, no other accessories whatsoever. But I mean, not much else is necessary. It's Umaga. So very pleased with this. Can't wait to add it to the display. Again, if you want to see what that display looks like, better go ahead and subscribe now. That way you'll be there at the end of the series and see what it looks like. Go ahead and hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below what you think of Umaga here, and how excited you are to see the rest of my Samoan Dynasty Bloodline figures that I got coming out in this series the rest of this month. And like I said, make sure you're subscribed so you'll see all the rest of those. You'll see that reveal of the display at the end of the series. Turn on the notification bell so you know you won't miss out. You'll also make sure you get a notification every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time that the Gladiator Wrestling Podcast is live. Come join us and talk some wrestling. Follow us on all of our other social media platforms. Check out those partner links down in the description below. That's going to do it for this one. Gladiator out.